They didn't have to go this hard, but it did. That's our staff's takeaway after spending 2 days lapping the 2025 Ioniq 5N around Chuckwalla Raceway and yet another 2 days road tripping the sporty EV throughout Southern California. Everyone expected something different from the hottest version of Hyundai's electric SUV, but after days of test driving, judges were unanimous with their overwhelming enthusiasm for the Ioniq 5N's blend of whimsicality and thrilling performance. In part, the joy imparted by the Ioniq 5N comes from its theatricality. Buried under 2 layers of infotainment screen menus is an option to enable Hyundai's Active Sound Plus feature, which plays 3 synthetic audio tracks accompanying throttle inputs. Ignition simulates a gas engine, supersonic mimics a fighter jet, and evolution is an abstracted take on what performance sounds like. Our judges enjoyed these modes to varying degrees, but most agreed ignition was by far the best, especially when combined with the any shift mode. When these features work in tandem, the Ioniq 5N feels much like a gas-powered car. It replicates the feel of shifts, lurches when the tachometer bangs the synthetic rev limiter, and even plays an exhaust note when you hammer the accelerator at idle. Using these settings transforms the Hyundai into a driving simulator that you use on real roads and tracks, jazzing up the driver engagement factor with a convincing duplication of driving a performance car with an internal combustion engine. Then there's the N-Grin Boost button, which deploys maximum acceleration and the sharpest tuning in 10-second spurts. Fully awaken, the car almost feels too rapid for full throttle stints on public roads. Annoyingly, you can't N-Grin boost yourself and use the any shift settings at the same time, but it's difficult to care when you're hurtling down a straight unleashing all 641 horsepower. Even without any of these ludicrous settings enabled, the Ioniq 5N is an impressive performance machine. Engaging steering, indefatigable brakes, and a responsive chassis tick the necessary boxes for a satisfying drive. After spending a week with it, we found few faults. The biggest issue was range, which the EPA rates at 221 miles, a steep drop from the non-NAWD model's 260-mile total. Fortunately, the Hyundai compensates with blistering charging speeds at a peak rate of 239 kilowatts. The Ioniq 5N also impressed us by how well it held on to its charge while being belted around the track. We noted a drop from 96% to 79% over a 5-lap session of Chuckwalla Raceway's 2.68-mile circuit. Hyundai certainly seems to have paid extraordinary attention to detail during the development of its first high-performance EV. Provided you have sufficient patience to learn the menu system, the ultra-quick SUV can be anything you want it to be, full of seeming contradictions. Features editor Christian Seabaugh marveled at the multitudes contained within the Hyundai software. One setting has it going down the track like a super SUV, he said. Another setup makes it feel like a hot hatch. One feels like a big sports car. Indeed, this customization and variability increased our interest in the world of possibilities that exist for future sporty EVs from all manufacturers. Here at Motor Trend, we're very fond of the Hyundai Ioniq 5, so much so we named it our 2023 SUV of the year, and our appreciation has only grown since then. Its attractive exterior styling, functional interior, and focus on good, honest TV dynamics all add up to make one heck of a package, and when you factor in its relatively attractive price point, it's hard to find a downside. Word first got out Hyundai was planning a hot version of this SUV in 2023, and we saw its promise on our initial prototype drive. Then, later that year, we got to drive a production 5N on the road. Now we've been let loose in the 5N WeatherTech Raceway à Laguna Seca. The Ioniq 5N is by no means just a dual-motor Ioniq 5 Limited with a simple software remap. Revised exterior features include a new open grille with active shutters and air curtains. The hood is adorned with a black H emblem and flat aluminum end badge that add wow factor for those watching one barrel down via their rearview mirror. The N is 2.0 inches wider than the standard 5, and it rides on 21-inch forged wheels. First, the proprietary any shift system replicates the feeling of an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission.